Welcome to our 5th video on configuring the Quasar Point-of-Sale. Today we're going to look at customizing the receipt. So let's get started. We're going to click on Setup and we're going to click on Configure Till. We'll click on Receipt. The default password's 999 unless you changed it in the till configuration. But we left ours at 999, so we'll enter that. And here we are in the Configure Receipt. We'll start right at the top with ID on Receipt. Let's untoggle that and see what that does. As you can see, there's no item ID or no item lookup number on the receipt. The advantage to that, of course, is you get to see a longer description. The disadvantage is you don't have the item ID on the receipt. So let's check that again and then take a look at the receipt. So you can see we have the item ID back, but we've lost a lot of our description. So it just depends on your personal preference what you'd prefer to be giving to your customer. Next is the Show Item Count. So let's toggle that off and take a look at the receipt. As you can see, nowhere on this receipt does it show us how many items were actually sold on this receipt. So let's toggle that back on and then head back to our receipt. So as you can see, there's 3 items on this receipt. So why is this important? Well, if I'm selling some high-priced product in my store, I want to make sure I give my customer exactly what they paid for. No more and no less. So it's a cross-check for the cashier to make sure the customer is getting what they paid for. We have the Show You Save toggled on, so let's go to the receipt and see what that does. You can see we have a You Save $5.80. What that means is you've bought product on promotion and the amount of money you save because the product is on promotion is $5.80. I personally like this feature and would leave that toggled on at all times. Let's look at what the Show Deposit does. If you have the Show Deposit turned off and you sell an item that does not have a deposit, then no deposit line shows in the subtotal amount. On the other hand, if the Show Deposit is turned on and you sell an item that does not have a deposit, or there is no item on the receipt with a deposit, it will still show a bottle deposit of 0, even though there's no bottle deposit amount on the receipt at all. Whether or not the Show Deposit is toggled on or off, if you do sell an item that has a bottle deposit, then that bottle deposit amount will indeed show up in the subtotal amount. Okay, next we have the Show Points, we have the Show Balance, and we have the Show Available. These all have to do with what shows up on the customer receipt. So let's toggle these on and see what they do. If you've entered a customer at the point of sale, the Show Balance shows the customer's account receivable balance. The Show Available shows the available credit that's still available to that customer to charge. And the Show Points, if you're using the Quasar loyalty program, these are the points that are available for the customer to get discounts with their loyalty points. The next 4 fields have to do with the printer and lag time. Just leave these 4 fields as they are. There's no need to change any of these settings. Give me a moment and I'll change the information that displays at the top of the receipt and the information that displays at the bottom of the receipt. Okay, I've changed the information to make this look more like a real store. Here's the header information or the top of the receipt, and here's the footer information or the bottom of the receipt. Let's see what that looks like at the point of sale. When you start a transaction, you can see the header information is all displayed on the receipt. If we now finish that transaction, we can see that all of the information in the footer or the receipt bottom is now displayed on the receipt. So moving right along, we have the receipt toggle enabled. If that's toggled on, then that opens up the printer on-off feature. What that does is allow you to print a receipt only on demand. In some parts of the world, receipts are only required if the customer asks for them, so you can turn that feature on by enabling this. The next one is the EU date. That shows the format of the date in the format that's expected in the EU. And then we have the CDU customer display unit. This is the information that would scroll across your customer display when it's not in use. And if you wish to display the $sign on the customer display unit, you can tick this on here. And that wraps up our video on configuring the customer receipt. In the next video, we'll take a look at the Quasar Point-of-Sale security feature. Thank you for watching.